Mr. Sheep here. Welcome back to the TGIF Talks, episode 90. I'm joined by my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
Yes.
Let's roll the intro.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
And they're always glad you came.
These podcasts broke down.
At Grant Thornton, we know modern business demands a fresh perspective, which is why we're more than an audit, tax, and advisory firm.
Shut up, ads. You don't even have sound. How are you talking? What?
Me?
No, I'm talking to the ads in the news article for later. Anyways, these podcasts broke down to 4 parts. First, we have How Our Week's Been, followed by, well, the news, as the fans already saw. The future of the channel, or maybe lack thereof. Dun, dun, dun. And then finally, a random 4th topic. Today's 4th topic is probably our trip again, or the elements. So we'll decide. Anyways. So, what have you done the past 2 weeks?
I've worked, and worked, and worked some more. Yeah.
Wow, what a life.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Tell me more.
Well, some days if I decide not to work, I still end up working some more, and I work some more.
I was like, you know what? I don't want to work today, but then decides to work more. How does that?
Then decides to work more. Yes.
What a contradictive statement there.
Yep.
Gee. Freaking birds.
Very exciting, I know.
Oh yeah, exhilarating. Well, I made my decision about. Okay, actually, I should probably just tell what's going on first. So, you know what's going on, but the schmucks watching, or the people
I don't.
watching,
You have to elaborate more. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was offered.
You haven't said a word at all. That seemed to hint at what you're talking about.
I know. I stopped because Anyways, an opportunity came up for me to potentially apply to switch to a different branch. This different branch is so close to my apartment that it is conceivable to walk. I'm pretty sure that the time it would take me to walk there is the same amount of time it takes me to drive to my current job. So my commute virtually doesn't change, except now my truck can literally just sit in the parking lot all the time. It never has to go anywhere. It only goes somewhere like for Saturdays, because I've thought about it for Saturdays and it doesn't make sense to walk on Saturdays.
It doesn't make sense to walk on Saturdays?
No, because like I have to mow Saturdays, right? And why would I walk all the way to work, then walk all the way back home, get my truck, and then drive to grandma's?
You save a little bit of gas and get some exercise.
Yeah, but like, I would rather get to grandma's earlier. That way I can finish mowing earlier, and therefore I have more time left of my Saturday.
Fair point.
Anyways, I could not decide. I was so indecisive. I flipped a freaking coin.
Let me, I don't know, maybe I have to cut this out, but, how much does the people that work there have a negative impact on the decision?
What do you mean?
In other words, if there were, say, different people that you would work under, would that sway your decision?
No. So this decision,
What are the significant cons other than people?
Well, all the cons have always been just the only other con, besides just having to deal with all new people and leaving up people that I like and not knowing if I'm going to like the new people. The biggest con otherwise then is literally just my passwords are going to have to change and my username for certain things.
Oh, that's minor.
Otherwise, but like the people side of it's such a big deal. Like, when your entire job revolves around people, it's such a crazy thing. It's like, if I don't like the people I'm going to work with, I'm screwed. And it was such a...
Yeah, but you didn't. I guess my whole thing is you didn't know who were the people you were going to work for on day one. You're always in the dark on day one.
So
it's not like you walked in day one and you was like, yeah, I'm going to like these people. I'm okay with this.
yeah,
You knew nothing about it.
but most of but the thing is, okay, we gotta look at...
And then you grew to accept it.
We gotta look at, for one thing, we have to look at kind of me applying for jobs and like all the big decisions of my life for the past 5 years or more. Every single large decision I have made in the past 5, more than that, good God, I forgot it's been 4 years since I graduated high school.
You've been stubborn and reluctant to change.
The past 8 years,
Your whole life.
Past 8 years, maybe even more, every large decision that affects the rest of my life, each decision was made on a whim. Like, the amount of thought and calculating and pros and cons lists I made were zero. It was just like, why not? My major for college? Why not? I was just like, sounds interesting. Yeah, sure, whatever. Working at Menards, that was literally out of spite. I did it out of spite.
You had to get a job, and you're like, well, fine.
No, that wasn't the spite. The spite was there was a kid in my class who tried to apply for Menards but didn't wear a suit. And I said, you should have worn a suit. And they didn't call him back. I'm like, okay, well, I was thinking about applying to Menards. I'm going to go apply, see if I get it. I got the job. They didn't even, like, call me. They're just like, okay, like, after the interview.
You wore a suit?
Yeah, I wore a suit to my Menards interview.
Like a jacket and everything, or shirt and tie?
No, jacket and everything.
I've never worn a suit to interviewing because I don't own a suit. I own a nice shirt and tie, several ties.
I just bought a new suit, but that was this summer. Anyways, so I got the job right there. But that whole decision was just spite. I applied to Menards because I was like, whatever, I bet you if I wear a suit, I'll get the job. And I did. Spite. I didn't think about it. I just did it.
Yeah.
Working at the co-op, there was some thought behind that. But it wasn't really. It was more of, I need a freaking place to work. I need money. I'm tired of my current job. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
Where
not
I
entirely.
live, I didn't have any other options.
You did too. My dad told me he found you several different places in Lincoln.
No, he didn't. He never told me he found any places.
He did too. Well, he told me he told you. I don't know if they were apartments, but they might have been houses.
Yeah, I didn't have the money for it, though. I think what he was well, no, he wanted me to go get roommates off of, like, Craigslist and crap. And I wasn't about to I did not want to do that. I got lucky with a random roommate once, and I'm never doing it again. I had great luck the first time. I'm not doing it again. I rolled the dice and won the lottery. I am not rolling the dice again. That is for certain. So, it's like I rolled the dice once. I won. I'm not rolling again.
Yeah.
Anyways, quitting the co-op was basically, that was pretty much a whim. Most of my college classes were all whims. Picking what my career path was going to be was a complete whim. It was for a class, and they're like, what is your plan for your degree? what kind of jobs can you get with your degree? I didn't even really know. And one of the ones that kind of caught my eye was loan officer. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Whim. Everything was whim. But for whatever reason, this decision, despite my entire history of just doing things on whim, which is not in my character whatsoever, surprising. Like, my personality type does not do things on whim. Everything is perfectly calculated out. Which is so weird that all my largest decisions in life have all been whims. And they all worked out. This one time, I calculated and calculated and calculated. And I couldn't make a decision.
You could not, or could.
I couldn't. I did, but I had to force myself to do it. And it felt a lot better after I made the decision, but I couldn't make it. I asked the coin. I was like, heads or tails? And I was disappointed by the outcome, so I was just like, well, that was useless. And the reason why I talk about disappointed at the outcome was because I watched a Big Bang Theory episode, and Sheldon was trying to decide between the Xbox One and the PS4, and they talked about, well, flip a coin, whichever one you're disappointed by. And it's just like, well, that's... And then Sheldon was just like, well, I don't want... What if... And then Amy's like, if you're disappointed by the outcome, then you get the other one. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, instead of doing what the coin tells you, do what you feel. If you're disappointed by the outcome of the coin, do that. Yeah. I was disappointed by the outcome of the coin. Yeah. But I was still unsure when I went to bed that night. No, this was Sunday night. Woke up Monday morning. I got my car, and I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the application. I'm going to fill out the application. I'm going to do it. I get
OCR.
Hold on. There's still more to the story. I got to work, and I couldn't make up my... I couldn't do it. I paced. I paced, and then I thought about one more thing. And that's pushed me over the head to do it, and I did do it. I thought about, what is the probability that they hire somebody who actually has more experience than me?
What do you mean?
Well, I
at that position?
Yeah.
Oh, because you have to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go on.
And I'm like, what is the probability that if I get this job, that my old position I get replaced by somebody who's actually better at the job than I am, has more experience. And then I'm like, okay, then me leaving, is it probably? I mean, you don't know, but there's a chance, there's a probability that whoever replaces me is going to be better for that position than I was.
Yeah, because you've only been there for like, what, 6-8 months?
6-7 months, yeah. So,
yeah,
me leaving could be a good thing. They could hire somebody better. Granted, there's a very, very high likelihood they will hire somebody worse, but...
yeah, I'll apply. I'll set the bar real low.
I mean, it pays the same as your job, so...
Yeah. Go on.
Anyways, so I did it. I applied, and I have the interview tomorrow morning.
So now that you've applied, do you have to wait 6 additional months for loan officer? Or are you applying for loan officer assistant or whatever?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter because at my current trajectory, 6 months is...
What?
6 months is... Currently at my current trajectory for how fast I'm learning, or how slow learning, I should say, 6 months, saying that I'll be in a different position than I am now in 6 months is kind of like, wow. From what it appears, but who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? I kind of want to get good at my job before I move on to the next one.
Fair enough.
Because they're all like,
Fair enough.
you realize half the stuff's going to apply at your next job. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay then. I need to get better at it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, which is another thing at the next job. Their con is that, well, I don't know how my training's going to go. I don't know if they're going to keep doing, if they're going to do what my current boss and my boss's boss are doing with me. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is.
We'll throw you out to the wolves.
What?
Did you not hear what I said?
Throwing
I
out
said
the
they'll
rules?
throw you out to the wolves.
I don't know. That is another thing that I don't know, but we will see. We shall see.